She cracks me up. Oh, back when he was like doing about 10 mounds of coke a day. This is the horror shelf, as you can see. Some nice selections here. This is one of my favorite horror books. This one's kind of comedy horror. Autographed copy. Rest in peace. But let's talk about the Vikings Saints game. Wasn't that a pip? I don't even know what a pip is, but apologize if there's a little bit of background noise, but of course my ex-wife dropped the kids off with me tonight because she's got her Monday boyfriend tonight. So the big question, of course, was would my ex-wife schedule another birthday party during the Vikings game, so I couldn't watch it live. Jury's still out on that one because there was a birthday party, believe it or not, Sunday night for a kid in my kid's class at school. And did she influence the decision? I don't know though. Somehow she knows. Somehow evil finds a way. Which is a good segue into the Saints. Evil finds a way. So, hi. I've had some time to... happy Halloween! I had some time to get over the loss to the Saints. And by get over, I mean relive and try to keep sharp objects away from myself. But last week was a good week for me. I got to see Eric Johnson. And my ex-wife wasn't there, so although there were a lot of other fairly unattractive women there. So. Vikings, Saints. Okay, they start the game. Rhodes and Barr are out, which is going to be a huge hit to the defense, right? Breeze has not thrown an interception. Oh, Everson Griffin is back. So that's going to be a huge lift for the defense emotionally, right? They introduced the Vikings defense. They look like a bunch of, literally half these guys that I don't even recognize, their faces. So it's going to be a bad night for the defense. The Vikings are going to lose because they're going to give up way too many points. Harrison Smith gets torched, of course, early on. That's a given. Gumby!
Look at this. Teddy Bridgewater is in the game. You've got three quarterbacks.
That three quarterback play, I think, Zimmer was probably just sitting there like, wow, what a good kid. I love that kid. Great kid. I wish he could lead my team of men. Vikings' first offensive possession, pass batted down. Didn't take long. Thielen made an amazing catch, and Diggs caught a touchdown on fourth down, I believe. Now, it was a struggle that drive a little bit, but they got it in the end zone. Next drive, the Saints got the ball in number 24 and number 42 for the Vikings, who I think I know their names, but I'm going to pretend I don't. They made the play. Linebacker replacing Barr and a cornerback replacing Rhodes made the play to stop the drive. So we really, really, really miss the guys who are out. The offense got the ball again, and they're moving the ball, and I would say I have an award here. This is the best decision of the week. This goes to Kirk Cousins. This is probably the only good decision he made, but he had they did a flea flicker, and he had Treadwell wide open down the middle for a touchdown.
Really had Laquon Treadwell wide open for a touchdown.
And instead he threw to Thielen, who got a 30-yard catch. And that was brilliant because he knew Treadwell wasn't going to catch it. Even though he was wide open. Robinson drew an offensive pass interference on third down. Now that was, I think, pretty much a garbage call, and that led to a touchdown. And then, of course, that brilliant kicker, Bailey, missed the extra point. On the first extra point, he kicks it from the right hash. On the second extra point, he kicks it from the left hash because of those swirling winds at indoor U.S. Bank Stadium. I mean, I heard some guy, I think it was the long snapper or somebody for the Vikings, interviewed after the game, and they're like, why did he kick one from the right and one from the left? And the guy's like, well, I think he likes to mix it up to simulate like it's a real field goal, keep the pressure on so he doesn't get complacent. Basically wants to make it more difficult. And it worked because he missed it. It's like, what kind of morons are on this team? It's like, kick the ball through the uprights. Oh, I want to make it more difficult. Well, you did. Stupid. And then the kickoff, he kicks it barely to the 10, I think, and they return it past the 35, and gee, they get a long field goal because of that. He takes a point away, gives them 3 points. So basically, instead of being up 7, we're up 3. Oh, and on that drive was Griffin offsides on a 3rd and short. Yeah, thanks for coming back, Everson. Great. And on that drive where they held him to that long field goal, there was a 3rd and 3 where Kamara would have had a huge play, wide open for a first down, and he just dropped it. So They got very lucky there.
What a break here. The Minnesota Vikings were so confused. Watch these guys right here trying to figure out who's covering what, when, where, and how. Kamara comes out wide open for an easy first down.
Okay, in the second quarter also, that was when I heard them first talk about Mike Zimmer wanting to run the ball.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer says we have to be able to run the ball.
Also talking about how Kirk Cousins needs to get a break.
Kirk Cousins has to understand that when you're taking a three-step drop, you get one look. I can hear Sam White screaming right now, throw it away.
He seems like he's incredibly stupid. Then the Saints got the ball, and there was just this camera angle they kept using from behind that just made me so mad. I just like, normally they do that for one play, and they decided to do it for like a whole drive, and I was ready to break my TV. But then Smith got an interception, so Smith is kind of like the bad with the great. I heard the understatement of the year.
Well, I know Laquon Treadwell is not always loved around here as a receiver.
And then there was a deep ball to Treadwell, which was incomplete because he couldn't get open. And then there was a pass to Johnson on the next play, the guy who should be replacing Treadwell on every play. And it was complete. Big surprise. And then there was the Thielen fumble, as it looked like the Vikings were going in to score before the half. And Treadwell made the tackle. And of course, Treadwell, this is how he works. It's like, oh, you made probably the best, most important play of your career. And now...
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Minnesota, number 11. Throwing his helmet. That's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
For some reason, you're throwing your helmet in anger, even though you made a good play. Again, it doesn't make sense. But that is the Vikings right there. That reaction from Treadwell, that is the Vikings team emotionally. Because what is he saying by throwing his helmet? He is saying, we lost. Even though you're up by 3 points, at home, in the first half, you get the ball to start the second half, your defense hasn't yet let the Saints score a touchdown, which they would have, but anyway, they did. You are saying that is the game because we fumbled in the first half while leading by 3. And that's what happened. The Vikings just gave up at that point. They were done. They were toast. So the Vikings go into the half down by 4 points, and they compared the stats of Breeze to Cousins. And from the stats, Cousins played a perfect first half, and you're losing by 4. It's not about passing statistics. It's about whether you win, whether you score more points, and that's what we're getting with Kirk Cousins. A lot of numbers that lead to not a lot. But I liked it. In the second half, okay, the Vikings get the ball. They get around midfield, and they sputter. It's 4th and 1. So what do you do on 4th and 1 on the most important play of the game? Of course, you throw to Treadwell. That's what you do. The guy who got the unsportsmanlike, that's the guy you throw to. The guy who can't catch, that's the guy you throw to. That's who you put your season in the hands of. When are we going to get rid of this guy? Can somebody explain this to me? When are we going to get rid of this guy? When are we going to make a stand for excellence or being good or being average rather than having these charity cases who mentally are completely unfit to play football, physically can't do it, and just make stupid plays at the worst times. After that, it was kind of the Kirk Cousins show. There was that fumble. That it wasn't a fumble because his knee was down, but it was like the most awkward thing. Like he's like turning towards the guy with the ball, like, please take it from me. Psych, I got my knee down. What are you doing? And then the pick 6, which was, that was all Diggs' fault for quitting on the route. Well, Cousins couldn't even see anything. The linemen were in his face, so he's basically throwing it blind. And that's Diggs' fault, right? Because Kirk Cousins has no history of doing stupid things. It's got to be Diggs' fault. Whose fault was it that the interception and the pick 6? Kirk Cousins. He's a frickin' disaster. At the end of the year, he'll have about 5,000 yards passing, 35 touchdowns, and the Vikings will be like 8-7-1 if they're lucky. Because have you seen their schedule coming up? But it is important that we honor Kirk Cousins with. We're gonna rename the award, the Kirk Cousins Award for Garbage Passing Statistics. He certainly got that this past week. Very, very proud of him for getting that touchdown long after the game was decided, after he had pretty much gone into the tank and fallen apart. So congratulations, Kirk. Bears fan I work with was like, what is it with your team? How like one thing goes wrong and they just collapse. It's all comes down to mental toughness. I mean, the team has the physical ability. They stopped the Saints pretty well, held Drew Brees under 150 yards passing, intercepted him for the first time this year, yet they got blown out. So sorry there, my batteries ran out, so I'm kind of just switching a lot in this video. I I do hate the Saints. I hate Sean Payton, but I also respect what that team can do. How they came into U.S. Bank on Sunday night to make a statement. The Vikings, I think, came in to not lose. New Orleans came in to win and to make a statement, say, hey, we're for real. The Vikings could have come in and tried to do the same, but they got that Kirk Cousins guy who's worthless. He's worthless. 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 How's his team? How are the Redskins doing without him? Are they better? I mean, they basically replaced him. They got Adrian Peterson now. Adrian Peterson will get you to like 10-6 maybe. Kirk Cousins will get you to 9-7. As long as Cousins is here, there's no hope. All of that $84 million is guaranteed, so that's good. Obviously, the offensive line sucks, so that doesn't help. And having Thielen fumble didn't help, but the unbelievable plays he's made all year, and he makes one bad one, and the whole team has to collapse. Like literally, oh, our best player fumbled, so the world is ending. No, you pick him up. He's the guy who's picked you up all frickin' year. He's made like 100 catches the first 8 weeks or whatever. Yeah, he fumbled. And it wasn't because he was making a stupid play or a mental mistake. He just got hit on the ball. You're going to fumble once every 100 plays probably. And your team has to be able to respond. Stupid, mentally weak, mental midgets on this team. And what the heck? Mike Prefer, the special teams suck. Why? Why does he have a job? Is it some like reverse discrimination because he made politically incorrect comments, so they don't want it to look like they're responding to the mob or something? Like this what the heck? Did they play the Lions this week? This Lions game feels like another one of these. Well, at least they'll win that one.
Anthony Barr wants no part of Josh Allen.
And they should, but you never know, you know. And the rest of their schedule, their upcoming schedule, like Packers and at the Patriots? I mean, good night. You want to see a guy get out-coached? Let's watch that game. I can't wait. I'm going to be just like probably punching myself in the face the whole game. Which I do anyway, any other game too. But well, the Gopher football game, I just punch the screen when PJ Fleck comes on. But anyway, happy Halloween, even though it's not past Halloween, but it's Halloween for me right now. I'm going to dress up as a panda in honor of Panda Express, my favorite food. And sorry, Rhiannon. But anyway, have a good week. You know, it's just football. It's just my whole life. But I'll get over it.